This is a story of the two princes who became the most powerful beings in the world, and the name of this story was The Dwarven Kingdom of Kragna was a fortress of stone and fire, carved deep into the northern cliffs. Life here was defined by an unyielding Viking-like code, honor, valor, and, above all, purity of heritage. The kingdom's greatest shame and the source of its fiercest decree was its past entanglement with the barbaric Eldovian kingdom, which had led to the forbidden union of races. Dagna Stoneaxe was the living embodiment of that disgrace. She was the daughter of Thorina Ironshield, a proud dwarf woman, and a nameless human soldier from Eldovia who had raped Thorina during a long-forgotten raid in the Forest of Nature. From the moment of her birth, Dagna was branded as cursed blood, a half-child, taller than her kin, possessing an unnatural strength that pulsed just beneath her skin. Whispers followed her through the sprawling subterranean halls, stinging Thorina worse than any physical blow. The dwarf folk, masters of earth manipulation and ancient craft, saw Dagna as an impurity. Thorina loved her fiercely, teaching her to gather from the forests and showing her the quiet strength of the earth, but their presence was a constant transgression against the laws of King Grimgold Ironfist. The inevitable finally came, driven by the village chief's intolerance. Mother and daughter were expelled, banished from Kragna. They found refuge in a secluded cave behind a thundering waterfall in the Forest of Nature, the same place where Dagna's father had committed his unforgivable act. It was there, in the solitude of the wilderness, that Dagna's true power revealed itself. Whenever her emotions flared joy, fear, or, most often, rage, her bones would stretch, her muscles would expand, and her body would transform into a towering giantess, capable of lifting boulders larger than their home and crushing ancient logs with a single hand. She was an anomaly, a terrifying hybrid of earthbound dwarf resilience and raw Eldovian physical might. For a brief, precious time, they found a quiet, fearful peace. Peace, however, was a luxury, because the surface kingdoms seldom afforded. One fateful night, an Eldovian raid, dressed in iron and carrying black banners, swept through the borderlands near Kragna, burning villages and stealing dwarf women. When the carnage settled, King Grimgold, unable to admit his own defences, had failed, sought a scapegoat. His men scoured the borderlands for spies, and they found Dagna and Thorina in the Forest of Nature near the waterfall. They were dragged in chains back to the throne of Kragna. Accusations of collaboration and betrayal were shouted over their pleas of innocence. Prejudice and fear, stoked by the shame of their existence, outweighed all truth. By the king's decree, both were sentenced to death. Dagna was locked in a cage of dwarven forged steel, the strongest metal in the world. She slammed her fists into the bars until her knuckles were split and bleeding, but the cage held, mocking her impossible strength. Then, they brought her mother forward. Dagna watched, trapped and helpless, as Thorina Ironshield was brought before the jeering crowd. Before Dagna's screams could even fully form, the axe fell. The head of Thorina, the last person to ever show Dagna kindness, rolled across the cold stone floor of the throne hall. Something deep inside Dagna Stoneaxe did not just break, it detonated. Her body surged with an unprecedented, terrible power. Her form expanded violently, tearing the steel cage into shrapnel that cut and pierced the executioners and the crowd around her. She rose, a towering, enraged giantess, blinded by grief. In the haze of her fury, she slaughtered everyone in her path. Guards, executioners, spectators, all were crushed beneath her titanic strength, and then she grabbed King Grimgold with her giantess hand and she wept, saying, "This is what you wanted, this is what you wanted me to become. Well, I hope you're happy." Then she crushed him inside her giant hand, while the others ran and fled. Only few of the stone guards escaped the carnage. When the rage finally subsided, her body shrank, the giant receding. Dagna collapsed amidst the corpses, shrinking back to her normal size, her strength spent. She crawled to her mother's body, wrapping her in the king's own banner before carrying her away, step by trembling step, through the ruined halls. She buried Thorina near their waterfall, at the Forest of Nature, and there, she swore an oath that would define her existence. "I will avenge you, all who wronged us, all who spat on our existence, they will fall."